Hi guys, welcome back to the Matrix of Life channel, and in this video I'm gonna talk how to choose a tarot deck, how better to choose. Quite often you're asking me this question, and first step towards choosing a tarot deck is answering question why do you need it, for which purposes. Is it your hobby or you professional? This simple question. If it's your hobby and you just started, always is better to use classical tarot deck. If it's your job or you're doing this professionally, that's quite another topic. There you like master chef, you know which deck serves which purpose, you already experienced in tarot symbolism, you already knowing with which tarot decks you resonate, your energy resonate, which don't resonate. Here's like situation with a knife or surgeon tools. You need to understand which deck serves which purpose. You need to read freely symbolism on these decks. And there is of course third category, when you like collectioner, you just like beautiful pictures of these tarot cards and you buying and you keeping them all and you not using them. It's like so brainless approach towards this, because all my decks which I am owning, I'm constantly using them. If there is decks which you're not using, that's a problem, which makes you not a professional but collectioner. Of course, there is a goal number 4, when you choosing some decks to impress a viewer or impress maybe a client. But most clients, they need answers, and answers you can get even from the easiest classical tarot deck, original ones. You can channel all the answers in the purest form, and it's better to do so. So how to choose here? Either you should be expert in symbolism and understand, like really understand which deck used for what. And still, for very important questions, when I'm asking really important questions about something, I prefer to pull cards from classical, traditional tarot deck. Another parameters, how comfortable this deck feel in your hand, because you're gonna use it, remember, you're gonna use it, you're gonna shuffle it. It depends on your palm, it depends on your fingers, it depends on card cover, okay, how they laminate these cards, because you want to use it for a while, shuffling, making readings and so on. So guys, what's special? I know a lot of people messaging me about, I have seen this and that really expensive deck, should I buy it? Answer yourself a question, what's your motivation in buying this? Sometimes, you see in a deck and it strikes you and you something like you're gonna get along with this deck so nice, but in fact, I know a lot of tarot readers who not using like 15% of their deck collections. And if you're not using something, remember, If you have in your apartment tarot decks which you're not using like for 3 months and more, which you didn't touch, it's already sort of dead energy here. You're not using it. It's a dead energy. And this dead energy might influence your readings as well at some point. Because when it's too much of decks which you're not using, but as this collectioner. But if you're a professional, I mean professional tarot reader who's working with clients and giving an advice, it's very dangerous to have in your house decks which you are not using. It's very dangerous. Only one exception for this is a tarot deck which you might inherit from your family if there were people who were making readings, you know, in your family. Like a family heirloom, let's say. I have this one deck from my family in which I learned tarot, with which I exercise, and this is classical one. And because I don't want to let's say make it very messy, it's already quite old, I don't want to make it worse. So what I am doing, first of all, I'm using this deck rare, really rare, but this is only one deck. There's not like 10 decks in my home which are not in work, which just somewhere collecting dust. No, guys, and I'm charging you decks with which I'm working recently. Often I'm charging on this, let's say, old deck to establish this connection. So like given, you know, it's like when you're not able to be present in one thing, and you writing down a paper and sign it at a lawyer, that this person can represent you somewhere officially. And the same I am doing, introducing this old new deck to my old deck. And of course I'm choosing my leading deck with which I'm working most often at the moment, but still I'm using all the decks which I am using. And if you're a reader who helping people, who making public readings for YouTube channels, and you having in your let's say room, apartment, home, house, like 100 decks, and out of this 100 you constantly using 10, there might be consequences because of these dead energies of stagnation. They might influence all your readings. That's very simple. And if I bought some decks which I didn't like get well with them, get along well with them, few I purchased, but I really not a big fan of these decks, I'm selling it because I don't want dead energies at my home. I'm not a collectioner. So first question you answering, why I need this deck. If you need for your own purposes to make readings for yourself, only one deck, maximum 2-3, will be more than enough. How to choose? There must be, for beginners, classics must be. This is my opinion. And because majority of the books, because you not raised in this tradition, and you gonna study definitely by books, and majority of books explaining classical version of tarot, and without having this fundament basics, you can't grow in this. Okay, you can't improve. So for the beginner to buy some sort of these cards, it's fun, yeah, it's beautiful drawings, illustrations like from the book, but very stupid of you. So go for classics, master this, And after this, choose yourself another deck which you would like and which you will be consulting with quite often, like angels, answers. It might be not tarot deck, or it might be another tarot deck. It might be romance, angels, whatsoever you like, or on what you most often lay in cards for yourself. Choose this, but be sure that you're using all of them constantly, that any deck left alone for more than 3 months. Because if you live in it like this for more than 3 months and not using over years, it's gonna start affecting the answers which you will be receiving in your readings. And it's quite obvious if you start comparing, okay? Another case is collectioners. Collectioners, they can have like 50, 70, 30, but these people, if they lay in cards for themselves, they sort of lay in cards for themselves like once a year maybe, or 3 times a year, no more, 3-4 times a year. But if you lay in cards for yourself every week, asking how this week gonna be, if you consulting with cards quite often, better not to have these dead energies around you, better not to be a collectioner. And if you're a reader, it's totally different. You know your client, you know which tools you need to work with your client. You already have been through these basics, through classical tarot deck, and of course you're free to choose whatever deck you like. Costs of deck? No, I'm not looking at the costs of deck. You can buy super expensive deck, super beautiful, but it won't be super precise. Why so? Energies of the person who created this deck, who invented, matters a lot, and how much this energies going with your energies. So I would prefer, if you know the author of this deck, use a traditional tarot deck and consult, because traditional, it's like this type of blood which you can give to anyone. This is traditional tarot deck. Ask on this traditional tarot how much your energy is compatible with energies of person who created this deck. Make this check before buying. I am always making this check. I might like some symbols, I might like this everything, but sometimes cards might show me that energies of this person who created this deck are not in alignment with my energies, and it can make it worse for me to use this deck as a tool in my activities. I hope you understand this. I hope you got it. Sometimes people who very spiritual, drawing decks and making things, and sometimes people who in a very, very dark energies, in a very dark magic, who overusing this, they also creating decks. And these decks, they might not go well with your energies. If you know, like vibrating on different energies, unlikely you will be buying this, modern decks of zombies, something like this. When I have seen, I feel so much of disgust. I don't want to work with this. I don't want to let these energies in my hands, in my life, in lives of my clients. I don't want this shit. But some tarot readers, they using the zombie, mombi, bombi cards. That's their choice, and probably these cards in alignment with their energies which they currently experiencing. So this is a question of your energies as well. Sometimes there might be really beautiful cards like this, but energies behind still might be tricky and dark. That's why I offering you this spread to shuffle on energies, your energies and energies of a creator of this deck. Your current energies, because you might vibrate, you know, you might think of yourself as super guru, but in fact vibrate in a bit different energies, and energies of this person, and how much they're compatible. Sometimes you need to pull this third row. Sometimes who already experienced, you just seeing from 2 cards how much is compatible, yes or no. So guys, I hope it was useful, beneficial information. Let me know in the comments how you choosing tarot decks. What is your favorite tarot deck? Share it in comments, because I want other viewers to benefit from your comments as well. So spend some time and write in this comment which tarot decks you using, which you like the most, how happen you have chosen them, because sometimes with me happen that some decks were finding me in a very crazy way, in a very crazy way, in best sense of this word, of course. How you have seen them, why you got attracted by this card, have you run this energies check, how much you are in alignment with the person who created this deck, and so on. I will be waiting so much for your comments. And what is the most expensive deck you are owning at the moment? That will be interesting as well. And of course you can leave a links for unique decks maybe you have seen somewhere. I will approve these links, no worries, so you can leave a comment on somebody's Etsy shop or whatsoever if you really like the deck this person offering, if you find it beautiful, unusual, or incredibly helpful. So guys, stay healthy, stay happy, and hope to see you soon in my other videos. Bye bye.